But I do think that there are some central policy decisions that can at least shape or increase the likelihood that some of these positive trends are going to continue, and that America, from a security point of view, and I guess that's primarily what I'm discussing here today, to a certain degree, I guess I'm thinking about an economic point of view as well, but I start really with energy security as the centerpiece of the discussion. Policies that I think are ones consistent with keeping us headed in a very positive direction. I think the first of those policy decisions, they're not all ones that will be dealt with here in Washington, I should say. They're ones that will be dealt with here as well as at the state and local levels of government. It relates to where we are headed on natural gas. With the seemingly wonderful developments in technology and the emergence of inexpensive gas, or relatively inexpensive gas, so much gas that a lot of it's shut in right now because the price is so low that we can't even afford to develop it. Of course, has come suddenly a counterforce, a view that somehow having abundant supplies of natural gas is not such a great thing, and then, in fact, even that natural gas is not such a great thing. Now, I have to confess, I find that a little bit shocking because not so long ago, when we were over at the Department of Energy, people were talking about natural gas as the fuel of the future because it was cleaner, because it was an alternative to fuels that, in the fossil fuel area at least, that people wish to see reduced as a source of power and other applications. But now we have a different story, and so I don't have to tell you, everywhere from Hollywood to think tanks to environmental organizations and many other places along the way, as well as at Capitol Hill, there are now people who are arguing that hydraulic fracturing poses a potentially grave threat, that it needs to be much more deeply explored. There's questions raised about the actions of those who are currently operators who deploy these techniques, even though they've been around for a long time. And during that period until the price of gas started coming down, seemingly were dealt with as innocuous technologies. But that's one big issue. What's going to happen there? Will the federal government be interveners on this? Will the state governments move in the direction of places like Pennsylvania, or more in the direction of places like New York and others who are very slow to develop? And another topic has been the question of whether or not exporting natural gas, exporting natural gas, yes or no, with a huge debate over in recent months, probably one of the hottest energy debates, certainly in the Department of Energy's world, and I think it'll be a growing discussion, certainly in the Senate, is whether or not we should permit exports, and if so, whether we should constrain the amount in a very significant way. These are topics that if the answers are we're going to dramatically reduce the ability to use hydraulic fracturing, and we're not going to allow exports or any significant level of exports, then I think we're talking about a whole different picture as it relates to the role gas will be playing